Thanks everyone for tuning into the show. I know we have we have a cult following going on. This is Destiny, by the way.
Hello.
And we are live on Twitch. You want to give out the Twitch that we're on?
We are underneath Quinzel 0905.
Quinzel0905 on Twitch. And we have some pretty good lighting. Wouldn't you think, Jake?
Very good. Yours is way better than mine is.
Cost $60.
We have the $60 light. So very cool now because now Destiny has a light like that. Sometimes I'll go long. I'll go live with Felicia as well. She's got one.
You go long.
So now I've got to get a light of my own. Now, one thing I do want to ask, we're going to start having a new studio up and running probably within the next 2 weeks, and we're going to have some more guests on the show. What do you think people would want to see as a background? Movie posters, art? What would you think, Jake?
I think art and movie and music posters would be a good scenery for the background on the show.
I was thinking a fern.
Fern? Okay.
Or a ficus.
Okay, we could do fern. We can maybe do that.
Do we say posters and you say fern? Or
I don't know. I was just trying to think of something different.
That is very different.
Get a ficus back there, or a neon light.
A neon light could work.
Yeah,
well.
maybe.
So if
some
people
wigs.
What was that?
Some wigs.
Some wigs.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to throw out some ideas.
So those could be some ideas. So before we,
I love your enthusiasm. Those could be some ideas.
So how's it been going, man? Now I was telling Destiny beforehand that you and I typically, since we've been doing the show, that we really don't talk except on the show.
Yeah, I don't even know the last time that we talked.
No.
It was probably during the dark era.
Still my best friend of probably all time.
Yeah, thanks. You're my best friend of all time too.
Am I really?
Yeah.
My only bromance, which I don't like to use that word, but
I'm not going to go that far, but okay. I appreciate that.
So how's it been going? What's been going on?
Not a whole lot's been going on. Oh, I got into a new hobby.
Okay.
Frisbee golf.
Really?
I feel like it's kind of like the douchiest hobby you could ever have. Because it's like, hey, yeah, let's go toss some Frisbee. But it's actually kind of fun. Like, I really have enjoyed it. I'm terrible at it. I spent half of it hiking through the woods looking for my Frisbees.
Really?
But it's fun. Have you ever played?
No, but there was a park that Shelly and I would go to see these ducks, and they had some Frisbee golf
in Big Stone.
In Big Stone. I don't know what it's called, but the little.
It's called Frisbee golf.
The little thing.
Yeah,
Gauntlet.
Yeah, that'll work. Gauntlet.
The gauntlet.
Yeah, it's the basket. I think it's a basket or something.
A gauntlet, not a goblet. Hey, Lana.
I'm thinking of Harry Potter with the Goblet of Fire, but I'm talking about a gauntlet because it's got chains on the side of it, but it has an opening so that your Frisbee can go in it, and it's like Frisbee golf instead, and it's like
catches it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I want people to know, just so they'll know, it looks like I'm doing shots or something on the show. I'm really not. It's little shots of orange juice or apple juice is what it is. So I just wanted people to know. I'm trying now. What do you think about? Now, I don't know if you've kept up with performance art when people do things like that. Do you know all about that whole scene?
I know of it.
What do you think of that? Is it pretentious or does it serve a purpose? What's your thoughts about it?
My thought is if the purpose is not clear, then what's the point?
Right. So what you're saying is a lot of the performance art that I do, the focus is unclear, the purpose, so there's no point, which I totally agree with you.
I didn't say that.
But you think that though.
That's not what I said. Why? So why? But
my purpose in it, and this
We're
is
not gonna.
no,
You
I
just put me
think,
on the spot there.
no, I think a lot of the purpose, like I think the show itself as a performance art piece in a way, because I've said it, a lot of times, is it kind of blurs the reality between what's real and what's scripted. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
More so on when we did the radio portion of the show, because as you know, we had an itinerary that we followed, but then a lot of the times we went off and we played into like things that really happened in our real life. For the many years, I'm sure people, hey Felicia, people probably thought you had 2 or 3 kids because that was a running gag through what, 5 or 6 years?
Many, many years ago, my kids would be like, they'd be like 20 now.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah, they'd be like 20.
So they would be old enough for me to date almost.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
They might be a little too old for you, actually.
That's messed up.
For example, that's a running gag throughout a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's weird, and I don't know if you've ever really encountered this, but it's kind of like we were talking about Seth Rogen early in the earlier show. How much of that is Seth Rogen on screen, or is his off-screen character who he is every time? We
Mhm.
don't really know Seth Rogen. We don't really know how he is off camera. We just know how he acts off camera seems exactly the same that he acts when he's in a movie.
Someone that as well as like Larry the Cable Guy.
Right.
He has a Michigan accent. He is actually proper, and he doesn't sound all like Liam.
Right, right.
He is actually
Really?
proper in Michigan.
Yeah.
He's from Michigan.
Yeah.
And he sounds so like well spoken, and I'm like, who is this guy on Health Inspector?
Well,
who is
also-
this guy on the Blue Collar Tour?
Well,
Like,
see,
who is
also,
this?
one of the biggest performance artists was Pee Wee Herman. His name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame says Pee Wee Herman, not Paul Rubens.
Mhm.
Yeah, and for the longest time, he never went out in public as Paul Rubens. He was always Pee Wee, which was always very interesting to me. Yeah. So my thought, a lot of the times, like I'll drink on the show or cry on the show, and people often, think it's real. But sometimes I want people to think, is this real or is this just a show?
You're referring to the other show that you done.
Some of the other shows.
Did you happen to watch that, Jake?
Which one?
You done with that Jeff guy?
Well, see, the other night I went on.
Is that the 2-hour show?
It
I
was
did
the
about a
one-
2-hour show.
It was the one that at 3 a.m. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
I did not watch it live,
Did you
but I
think
did catch the highlights afterwards.
he
the
overdid it?
the lowlights.
He
Yeah.
thinks he overdid it, and a lot of others do.
Now,
as
for
well.
example, when you watched that, did it seem real or did it seem like it was a performance of what was trying to be real? Like, how did you perceive it?
I thought you were putting on a bit.
You thought I was putting on a bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's,
Okay.
that's
So
what I thought.
what do you think about these kind of bits? Like, are you for these kind of things, or are they too like Andy Kaufman-ish? I don't know. I don't even know.
I,
Not comparing myself to Andy Kaufman, but you see what I'm saying.
I think you do you. I personally don't, just because that's not the kind of bits that I like to do. Because
Right.
I don't know. Okay, if I were to do something like that, I don't know what the purpose would be for me.
Right.
I can't find my own purpose in that. But somebody else wants to do it, they have a purpose for it. Who am I to say no?
So you can actually
But-
appreciate that kind of thing.
I can appreciate it. I just like would I do it? I don't even know how I would do it.
Right.
I don't know what my motivation would be.
Now,
Now I do like remember we talked about where we were gonna do that remember like the stand-up shows that we were gonna do
yes.
where you were gonna be the heckler and I was gonna be or the hot shot like stand-up comedian and I was gonna be the little prim and proper guy.
Yeah.
Like that stuff. I don't know. Is that considered to be similar where nobody's in on it except for us?
See, I think so. But for some reason, and I've heard some there's like, and you can weigh in this as well, and people watching as well, is if you and I were the only two, we'll set it up for the audience. So Jake is up there doing stand up. The rest of the audience is just a normal audience. They're laughing or not laughing. They're a regular audience. And I'm in the crowd heckling Jake. We're the only two people that are in on the gag. Is it funny, or is it only funny for you and I?
And if it's funny for you and I, is it still funny?
That's what I think. I think if it's funny for you and I, it's worth doing because we get some kind of amusement. And if we have cameras set up and we watch the audience, we're looking for one of many things: them to get angry, them to defend you, them to walk out,
feel awkward,
and they'll weigh in.
Everybody has their own opinion on something, so you can be like, "Oh, this is funny as heck, like it's great," and then someone's gonna be like, it's kind of like the interview, they thought that they were doing a good movie, but we're sitting over here like, you overdid it.
Because there are
did
people,
it way badly.
If you go look at the comments, Felicia's saying that would be funny. I personally would think it would be funny. Once, for example, it was Talitha, myself, and her sister. We were in Knoxville Mall. There was a wet floor sign in the middle of the food court. I walked across normally. I started slipping and sliding, acting like I fell. Everyone watched. I got up, looked at the sign, walked away. Is that funny or immature? I don't know. But I know it made me, Talitha, and her sister laugh. So I thought it was worth doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be worth doing it, but you have to understand that there's going to be good and bad criticism coming with it. Someone's going to be like, oh, that's funny as hell. But others are going to be like, I don't really know.
That's always intrigued me. Once when Jake and I think we were kind of go ahead, Jake. I see you have something.
I was going to say, well, if you really think about it, like think about the funniest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. That it's not funny to somebody else.
Right.
Like it could be funny to 98% of the world, but there's still 2% that don't think it's funny. And so what if it's the opposite? What if only 2% think it's funny and 98% think it's not? Does that still mean it's funny?
See, I've always find things that aren't traditionally funny more funny. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes I'll laugh with the masses and but I don't find the typical like crude humor or fart joke or something like that traditionally funny. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever heard me tell any kind of a joke like that?
Well, no, but you have to see that. That's why they have focus groups for several things, because they have to know exactly what their product is going to bring in and intel. But they're like, so this person likes this, but this person don't. We got to do the way of the ratio of who likes it and who doesn't. That way they know if they're going to sell it or not.
And also, the older that I've learned, and Jake is, and maybe even you as well, Destiny, but it's like, when you're writing something or making something, the audience that you want. If you want a family-friendly audience or more of the general audience, you'll have someone slipping on a banana peel. You'll have somebody, the donkey and Shrek having a fart joke or some kind of a joke like that. But if you're wanting more of a different niche kind of appeal, you'll probably leave those general audience things out. Maybe the guy doesn't get the girl at the end of the movie. Maybe the heartbreak is to teach some bigger lesson, but you might not get that in a more PG or major audience production. What do you think about that, Jake?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think too, though. I think that could be the problem. That could be a problem, though, and that's actually something that can you make like the family whatever jokes without being cliche and doing the fart jokes and doing the slipping on the banana peel? Is it possible to do those types of things in a more sophisticated, or have more sophisticated jokes and still have like a family appeal to it?
Right.
I think somebody, okay, where would you put like Napoleon Dynamite in that list?
Oh my God.
Most people that I've talked to, and it's been split. A lot of people love Napoleon Dynamite, and a lot of people that I know hate Napoleon Dynamite. Now, Napoleon Dynamite I don't laugh at it as much as I used to when I first saw it, but Napoleon Dynamite has that odd, off-kilter humor that I really do appreciate. But it's not so random and stupid. It's if you look at it
He's
from
not
afar,
Seth Rogen.
it would be stupid. But it's not the same kind of quote stupid as The Interview or Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd or Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. It's not that kind of stupid. It's of indie kilter stupid, which I do appreciate.
Yeah. Okay.
But Napoleon Dynamite in itself, look at the character himself.
But him as an actor, he does so many like diverse
You know.
characters.
No, you like
So-
Napoleon Dynamite and you appreciate it, right?
To me, I don't want to create another Napoleon Dynamite, but that level of sophisticated, ridiculous humor, I feel like they found like a formula there that can't be replicated, but you can do something similar to it and still get your point across. You don't have to do fart jokes to make a general audience laugh, and that movie proved it.
Now we'll ask, and the people watching as well, are fart jokes and stuff like that funny, Jake?
They're immature.
Do you laugh at those?
Not often. Not
If you
often.
do, I'm
Sometimes.
not putting that down. If you do, that's totally fine.
Something.
Everybody finds you immature when you're like, that's so funny, and they're like,
You know what my most cliche joke.
No, she doesn't. Okay, what's your cliche?
My most cliche joke that I think is hilarious, and it's in the movie Idiocracy.
Okay.
Is like a dude getting kicked in the crotch.
Okay.
I don't know why. When I used to broadcast sports, every time somebody would get kicked in the crotch or be down on the ground, I just couldn't keep it together. And it's so cliche. Like, it's so cliche.
Not funny.
But the first time me and him met, I was supposed to pretend to kick him in the crotch, and it accidentally was a real one, and that's what we used for the sketch.
Yeah.
And
He's a method actor, so.
Yes.
Clearly he is, but you could see the hurt in him, and I was like, yeah, there was contact that hurt him very badly.
See, it's funny. It's so weird because I think most people would assume just from some of the sketches that we're into this kind of toilet humor because we have a sketch where this guy is mistaken for this character named Anus.
You don't have a sketch.
With 2 seasons.
You have a whole series based off of that premise.
See, what I was hoping really with that is that I would lure some people in with the premise of that, but then there would be cleverness within it. I don't know if it ever translated, but when I told a couple of people, when I even said the name Anus, people rolled their eyes. When there's no jokes, there's no toilet humor or anything in them at all. However, I don't know. I don't really laugh at.
That person said that pain makes a funny topic. Like if you see someone getting like hurt, it's funny.
Like in reality, Destiny did step in. One of the sketches, she was supposed to slap and then knee me. We rehearsed it a few times.
The slap was supposed to be real, not the kick in the groin. And it was real.
And she actually did knee me. However,
he hadn't had that in years.
Yeah, I hadn't had it in 10 years. A fly ball hit me there one time was the last time until she kneed me.
Ooh.
And
familiar feeling.
it turned out great. The scene turned out great.
Because it was real. So pain is funny because he done a slap shot thing on Snapchat where it's all the compilation of everybody smacking him. Everybody found it funny because he's getting smacked.
I got to be honest, and you got to get ready and go. It's 5:00, but you can't really. I found that you can't really fake getting hit, slapped, punched, or kneed. It's just not the same.
Well, I did it the second time in the backfire. I did not actually hit you, but everybody thought it was real.
Right. But
I prayed that I didn't do it for real that time. I didn't want to hurt him again.
So yeah, this has been a fun show. It's went by really quickly.
A short show, yeah.
Yeah, a short show. If you're free at all before next week, we can try to do a show. I might pop on randomly Last night I kind of went on. I made a Long Island iced tea. I hadn't had one of those in a long time. It just kind of discussed a few little things. I'm thinking about getting this tattoo covered over.
What does it say?
It says no regrets, and it means nothing because I've had regrets over most of my life.
Can you just get rid of the no?
Yeah.
You know, from that movie We're the Millers, no regrets. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, really? Not even one letter?
So
Like, because regrets.
We started watching that. Did we already talk about this? We started watching that movie, and it was just like, it had like 1 star, and we watched like 3/4 of it.
I loved it.
I loved it. Well, I don't know how it ends, so I haven't seen the end of it yet.
Can we do one on that show?
We did.
Because I have
Yeah.
a lot to say about that show.
We should. What were the
It's really
Millers?
good. Yeah,
Let's put that on the list somewhere. Because
Talk about Sweet Emotions.
Yeah.
She's dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is so good in that movie. It's just so good. I liked
Okay,
it.
we'll do that one then.
It's
But
like
anyway.
that haircut, like right here. Be like, I want that haircut.
Exactly.
I deck my daughter out in Dora the Explorer crap right here.
But there is fun. I want a lot of audience interaction. I want them to give me some ideas, and if they give me a good enough idea to cover up the tattoo, we will live stream the covering.
Camera, a big camera
of the
because he
tattoo.
loves to film.
Now,
He
someone
can
else
have-
suggested
You get my face.
we could get the Jake face right there.
with a Seth Rogen quote.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yes. So, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We are the Other People Show. Be sure to check us out. KingNetworkTV.com, King Network TV powered by Roku TV and Firestick TV, and the Other People Show on YouTube. Destiny, thanks for coming on to the show. Twitch, thank you as well. Instagram, thanks. Grease Bucket, the Real White Coco, Felicia, Lana, everyone else.
Thank you everybody for
yeah.
watching, and definitely check us out on the Other People
Yeah, please
Show.
do. Jake,
And definitely a good pleasure to meet you, Jake.
Nice to meet you. We'll see y'all next week.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.